What is up, everyone? We have another game with the rank 20 plus, this time on All That Glitters 2.0. And for all you guys that watch my content and that are not subscribed, that's like 90% of you guys. If you enjoy the content, hit that subscribe button and just stay notified when I upload. I upload content like this 3 to 4 times every day, 3 to 4 videos you can watch and enjoy. All these high level, high tier combat strategies and so on. We have a pretty basic start here. Just a lot of ticks, a lot of rovers, covering the map, looking for information, trying to seize an opportunity to slip through the lines, get some early eco damage so they slow their opponents down. Saramore already getting a couple blitzes out. And there we see why these things are usually pretty good, because if a commander leaves the base, like in Professor Barr's case right here, you're going to lose a windmill, you're going to lose a metal extractor, gonna lose 2 metal extractors, and it kind of is a problem, and you're forced to spend 90 metal and 700 energy just to construct a turret. I mean, energy doesn't matter at this point, just the time that these vehicles spend building it and the 90 metal. And these rovers just go look for another target. That is very good for John Hunter. Just keeps them here in one spot. Not sure if he's gonna look for something else with them. Very well could, but he just disregards them, which is still fine. They serve their purpose. That is what? That is, I'm guessing a rover costs the same as a rascal. That is 20, how much is it? That is 26 metal, which is pretty cheap. Let's check rover, 31 metal. Okay, so 31 metal for a rover, 26 for a rascal. But still, destroying a metal extractor, 2 metal extractors, and a windmill is pretty good. Losing time for these vehicles. What were these windmills? Pretty funny. Professor Barr, degunning already. Trying to get rid of these blitzes from Saramore. Actually do a lot of damage, destroy these rascals, and this one leaks through. It's gonna do some eco damage. I love my cookies, leaving those. Actually sending a blitz here to intercept. That is fine. No eco damage is gonna come to him, or will it? No. This blitz from Saramore is just gonna be busy fighting this blitz, and yep, it goes down pretty much. John starting off with brutes, which is pretty good. Just having one incisor here for presence, I guess, so his commander does not get overwhelmed, and just getting out brutes to begin with. That is pretty interesting. Never saw that tactic before. We'll see how it goes. Psychoactive, trying to get his position here, trying to get these metal extractors. Let's check how much they have actually. That is what? That is 3.2. This one's 1.8. And yeah, you should always fight to have these metal extractors here. X Factor aggressing his position, having a radar here, having some grunts here, trying to get his commander in front just so he can secure this metal extractor. Just gonna go up. Pretty smart to put this fortification here, as it prevents this metal extractor being shot from the maces as well as these rocketeers, which cannot fire. Cannot lob missiles and projectiles over. They're forced to just shoot in a straight line. Fat Von Speck trying to go aggressive here, degunning the turret that Ainz was constructing, getting his commander to 60%. This is a problem. Well, he had his brute here advancing, and that is just 235 metal going down the drain. Fat Von Speck, not sure what he's planning here. Wanted to degun the commander if I'm correct, but he is dangerously low here. He is going to go down and destroy his economy here. This could be a problem. He will not go down. That was so close. That was too close for comfort. What happened here? Did we get a commander explosion, or was it... Okay, it was just a commander self-destructing. Brutes from Professor Barr trying to go through, but no luck here. Cannot slip between the lines. Pretty slow. Well, not that slow tanks. 73 speed. That is pretty good, but will not be able to get through these Janus and the blitzes from Saramore. Trying to destroy this constructor. I don't think that's gonna happen. And constructor just making a beamer, which is pretty good. Outranging the guard turret by a little bit, or actually nope, didn't even get to construct it. making it at a different spot. Professor Barr sees this. He's going to go in. And if he deguns the construction vehicle, yep, that is pretty unfortunate for Sarah Moore. He's going to need to get another construction vehicle out here. John Hunter almost threatens Professor Barr's commander here. Professor Barr's commander at 30%. And we have actually a couple grunts from Cyphos going through. Not sure how much damage they will do. Nothing spectacular. Just a couple metal extractors as well. Pretty good. Just to slow down Professor Barr. But they are going to go down without any further trouble. Ein's trying to push here. So Fet Von Speck forced to get his commander back as he was very low. And Ein's seizing this opportunity to push, to aggress his position. Just trying to push in through the mountains. It's a pretty small choke point, so you cannot get too many vehicles and units through. Especially bad against the D-gun. So if Fet Von Speck has his commander close to this spot, you cannot aggress with all these units as they will just get D-gunned easily. X-Factor alive, getting some artillery out. That's actually Ubivan. Raining down fire onto Psychoactive's position. Psychoactive forced to either respond to this artillery fire or just trying to rebuild his position here. Pretty tight spot. Should see help from Rick Descartes soon, hopefully, as it is not the greatest spot to be in here. What's going on the other side? So O Prime trying to inform Eins to push forward. Fet Von Speck missing on some energy here at the moment. We have some light gunships. Oh, actually, not some, quite a lot actually. A lot of gunships trying to destroy the build power here for Fet Von Speck. That is pretty good. You don't need bombers when you can opt for these. Not sure what he's attacking right now. He should focus on the build power here and on the constructors, which can start the blueprint for the turrets. That was a mistake from Lee Darcy. Should have just destroyed the constructors that were starting these. Anti-airs. Doing some raiding right now, which is fine. I'm gonna find some more from John Hunter. That is pretty good, but I feel like he could have done more against Fet Von Speck. Just destroying a lot of his constructors here is going to drastically slow him here. And O Prime aggressing with a lot of these aggravators. Let's see if John is looking at his base. This is going to be a problem. Does not have any constructors here. Only one construction bot. You should look to kill that one and just destroy this guard towers. It's the only thing dealing damage. That is pretty good. Destroying the economy. And I haven't actually thought about this, but this could even be better than the bombers. Fet Von Speck's commander goes down, and that means this south side hill or mountains are in pretty big trouble. We have anti-air from Airy Russ, which is pretty good. Lee Darcy should have just opted to completely destroy John Hunter's base here, which is probably the best course of action, but no matter. This mountain here is open for Eins. He's getting a lot of this metal from the commander, and they are in big trouble. Psychoactive holding a lot better here. Even though, well, Cyphos is just now getting some help there to Fet Von Speck, and Rick Descartes has a part of his front line going on here. So Psychoactive is alone in this side, but at any time Rick Descartes can just try and flank here, try and aggress. We see Sarah Moore's commander, and we see an armed metal extractor. Not sure how much damage that it will do, but definitely a good choice to opt for it. 240 metal, not that big of an investment. Definitely gonna last long, and it is like a turret. Psychoactive trying to repair this turret, and that fails. The turret goes down, and let's see. Yep, a lot of units going through from Eins. Cyphos trying to stem the bleeding from these mountains here. Just forced to chase it with these tanks. In my opinion, you should just move these tanks here, and the rest of these tanks are just gonna help out. But and you can try and deconstruct it with your constructors, Fet Von Speck. But they're just gonna keep running around and doing a lot of damage. This is pretty problematic for Fet Von Speck. He pretty much lost his entire game here. Same for John Hunter. He lost his commander here. Not sure when that happened, but he lost his front line as well. He's in big trouble since he got raided. But I'm guessing his team is going to lend him a hand. Professor Barr sending a lot of these tanks through the front lines. He's trying to brute force through. Gonna get rid of this beamer. They haven't noticed the sneaky Pete yet, but that may very well be the case. This armed exploiter goes down. X Factor is in big trouble right now as his sides are getting opened up. Commander under fire. He's gonna try and send the commander here, probably to do some damage, try and destroy the front line, but Psychoactive wants to put a stop to that. We already have some Sheldons for X Factor, and commander from Psychoactive is in kind of trouble if he keeps aggressing here. Rick the card, same thing for him. Professor Barr resurrecting these tanks, which is pretty good. Very, very good decision. These tanks don't take that much damage from these Sheldons, but if they stop and stand in one position, the damage is just going to start to add up, and that could spell trouble. But Professor Barr sending more tanks. We already have T2 Tiger tank from Airy Russ. Let's see if more are on the way. Indeed, they are. And remember, from the T2 vehicle plan in Cortex, you have the anti-nuke, so you don't need to make, just a stationary building nuke. You can just make anti-nuke, sorry, and you can just build a savior anti-nuke and just move it according to your team's needs. Psychoactive trying to aggress here, but he's going to be met with a lot of these Fiends and Sheldons. This is going to be a problem if these Fiends just keep going through. He has a Gauntlet here, but not sure how effective is a Gauntlet against these Fiends. But sure, Commander D-Gun is effective against pretty much anything and everything from Tier 1 to Tier 3. Buildings, units, and whatnot. So these Fiends went a bit too far, and I actually have a big push from Cyphos here. Not sure if it's gonna do anything. There's a lot of these turrets, a lot of these thugs. Actually, a lot of turrets just going in between the turrets of I Love My Cookies and O Prime. They are not gonna survive. This is a slaughter. Cyphos should have not done this, because you know why. This is 3,000 metal just left for the north side team, up for the pickings. It's like feeding a commander and a half here. They lost some thugs. That is not a problem. Only one tank went through, and it is gonna might do some damage here, but we see a bull coming towards it, so doubt that is gonna be any considerable damage. Nope, pretty much nothing. Just the 3,000 metal that Cyphos gave to the enemy team. Not the greatest push, but Ainz trying to slow down here, trying to get his vehicles out. Some tanks. Actually already has a couple of those. Fourth one is on the way. Psychoactive finally having a chance to slow down. This is just a fortification. It is not a turret, so he has some time, has a window of opportunity to get this metal here on the ground. Actually sitting on 2,000 metal, which is pretty good. Getting his T2 lab up. Do we see anti-nukes? Yeah, we do see an anti-nuke savior being built from Professor Barr. And a stationary ground anti-nuke Prevailer, which is even more expensive, actually, than the savior. That is 1250, 32, compared to 1,500 and 40,000. So it is a way better option to go for a mobile anti-nuke. It is an anti-nuke, and it is even mobile compared to this Prevailer, which is more expensive, and I guess it takes longer to build, and it is not mobile. So yep, there we go. Psychoactive losing his commander, not sure to what, maybe to a surprise attack from the Sheldons, but these Fiends are going to do a lot of damage. Rick the card trying to move into position to prevent this damage from coming through, but this is what happens when, oh, actually, some Roughnecks here from Lidarcy. That is going to help a lot, but that is 6 advanced solar collectors for Psychoactive going down. That is going to be a problem. Sorry about that. That was kind of too loud. These Roughnecks, not the greatest solution, even though it's from T2 air plant. I guess they just cannot do that much damage to troops that are moving. Their accuracy is not that great. But in any case, Lee Darcy stops this push going on from X Factor. That is pretty good. Ainz is here. We see some resurrected tanks for Fet Von Spek, but they will be no match for this Banisher and for a couple more tanks, a couple more Banishers that are on the way. Ainz just had too much metal to work with and still has even more. Preparing his units and still has 2,500 metal here, ready to reclaim, ready to meld into units yet again. X Factor pushing again. This time we have some shurikens from the Chukni. Gonna put a stop to that push. We do not have anti-air units for Fet Von Spek nor for Ubivan, so these shurikens will not be contested. We have some more roughnecks coming in here. We still do not see anti-air coming. We still see just a lot more of those fiends and artillery piling up here. Have some fighters for I'm Still Ray, but they are not in the right spot here. Let's see Ainz. Oh, he's actually pushing a lot. This fiend is not going to do that much, nor will this one as well. These tigers are in a prime position to get rid of this spot lab, and Fet Von Spek is just not catching a break this game. And like Professor Barr said at the beginning of this game, he doesn't like mountains. I don't like mountains. Mountains are not the greatest position. Like I keep saying, this is like, I don't know, if you want to torture yourself, you can play mountains. You can even play frontline mountains, like right here. It is pretty hard. You get pushed by two players. You do not seize a good position. I haven't yet seen a good player that can implement these strategies, like to control mountains well, other than Teddy. The game we had like 2 days ago when he played like backline this position here in mountains, and he actually managed to aggress all the way to here and cover like almost the entire part of this map here, and that was pretty good, pretty fun to watch an experienced player go at it without a problem. These roughnecks are flying or are landing. They've been set to fly, and if you may know, when aircraft fly, they use energy. If not, like the constructors, for example, if they don't fly, they generate energy, which is pretty good. So we have some tanks flipping by from I Love My Cookies. Actually, a lot of those tanks here almost destroyed John Hunter's T2 vehicle construction plant, but barely survives. And these tanks just do some easy cleanup afterwards. He's gonna have a lot of metal here to work with. Does he have? Let's check how much. That's 5,400 metal. I'm guessing he's gonna revive a lot of those, and that is just stout. That's why it's going up so fast. But we can see a lot of these res bots just coming and resurrecting these units, these bulls, which could be pretty good. We have a T2 construction vehicle here, which went down and did not upgrade for John Hunter. So John should receive some, hopefully. Should receive some. Oh, actually, Ainz. How did he get these? Oh, actually, probably O Prime gave it to him as a T2 bot lab, and these mammoths are trouble. Like, even Banishers can help with dealing with aircraft, as we can see. But we have so much units here from O Prime, from Ainz. This is going to be a big problem. And this is what? Those are arbiters. So they do some damage. They do decent damage. But yep. But, oh, and we have these shurikens. That is going to be a problem. This entire advancing unit is going to be in trouble from these shurikens. That is big trouble. That is just a lot of units going to be lost from these shurikens. And like Winter Gaming said, like these shurikens can just completely turn the tide of a fight. I mean, obviously Fet Von Spek is going to suffer some damage, if not considerable damage. But these shurikens can pretty much help. Oh, these mammoths are not that easy to stun, to paralyze. Their paralyzed multiplier is 0.5. So, nope, but it adds up. They are stunned pretty much. But these Sheldons are pretty much uncontested. We don't have any form of help coming to Fet Von Spek and Cyphos at the moment. Just a huge army here. trying to open up these mountains, and if these two get completely destroyed, wiped, it is pretty much over for the south side. And here we have anti-air coming from Ainz, some Furies, flak vehicles, which do AoE damage to air units, and just all these fighters from I'm Still Ray just going down. He's not even paying attention. These anti-air vehicles, units still trying to leak through. If this, yep, there we go. That is a very big problem for Syphos. If he loses this build power, that could pretty much be over. Ainz getting some units through since the windmills blew up, and this build power is just gone, pretty much. So is this tier 2. Syphos and Fat Von Spec are pretty much out of the game. It's a very big problem, and also we just have a lot of these, like around 20 roughnecks, which can just go in and do a lot of damage. They're just waiting for the fighter planes to get destroyed so that they can get in. We still have these. Do we have them actually? We have anti-air vehicles. No, we do not. We do actually. We have one left, which is pretty good against these shurikens. And yeah, Syphos and Fat Von Spec are pretty much out of the game. Has some units leaking through. John Hunter is next, and so is Ari Russ. They have their advanced metal extractors, advanced fusion reactors and whatnot, but they are completely open from this spot. And we have a Mammoth going in as well. We have Roughnecks. We do not have so much anti-air units in form of fighters. I'm Still Ray just lost a lot of those. We have a Chainsaw, but this is gonna go down. This is gonna be pretty much game. Yep. That spells disaster. We still have some Roughnecks alive. Sypho is trying to get his commander over, but this is just a very big problem. Yep, resignation comes through. That should be GG's. Southside mountains, very, very open. Very, very good job from Psycho Active to do his part and defend these mountains here. And good job to his teammates for helping him defend. And obviously Ainz and O Prime just completely opening up these mountains here. This is pretty much over. Nothing they can do. They do not have control over this ground here. They have a couple of tanks, but that is pretty much it. We still have tanks flowing through from I Love My Cookies. He has a completely open front, as just wreaking havoc to these players. Pretty sad to see, but if you have weak mountains, if you cannot defend, you should definitely not opt for that position. There goes another advanced fusion reactor, and they just keep going. X Factor Live having some interesting building tactics for this economy. Definitely splitting it up from bombers. But in any case, there goes the forfeit. Forfeit comes through for the southern team, and that is pretty much GG's. Props to Ainz and O Prime for looking for a spot, a window of opportunity, and winning the mountains here. That definitely won them the game. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.